Exactly. Yeah, I was about to say, if we're setting the definition of viable quarterback at third string backup, then yes, this is the most Browns thing ever.
Union Pacific in the background fueling the Buford Sports Network.
Yeah.
That's right here on the High Plains.
The UP. Speaking of fuel, what's going on here?
I'll tell you what's going on. We have a QB controversy.
Ooh.
You know where?
We're not going to talk about this here first. What's going on here?
Oh, with this?
Yeah, this.
Oh, yeah. Third season, third person.
Hey-o.
The tripod.
Yeah.
We're back. What's up? All right, so going into this, we have a QB controversy, Mike.
Yeah.
We're going to start with the Cleveland Browns. Now, you have the Cleveland Browns going against probably the worst team in football and the worst backup team in football. Yes, Shaduer Sanders puts on a clinic against the backup squad, let's call it that. And how do you feel about this controversy now?
In preseason week 1, keep it in mind.
Yeah.
Well, Dirk, look, I mean, if you're a Browns fan, you've got to be excited about it because that's what you want to see, right? You want to see Shaduer ball out. Now, you've got to, hold your excitement just a little bit because this is preseason week 1 against the backups. Right now, Jarrett Stidham looks like prime Peyton Manning for the Broncos. So,
last night.
Yeah, I mean, do these preseason stats really matter? It's hard to say. But it's much better to look good in the preseason, obviously, than look bad.
You know who else would look good in the preseason? Karen Rodgers.
Yes. We're just going to leave that one in the... So, all right, tell me about this, Dirk.
So here's the problem.
Paul and I, you're the Browns fan on this panel.
The problem with Cleveland right now is that you have, 5 viable QBs on your roster? And I'm going to say viable in that you're going to keep them at least, you could take him as a third-string quarterback. But how many QBs are you actually going to fill roster spots with and fill that, limited number on your roster? Are you going to carry 4? Are you going to carry 5? Why would you do that? If you're the Browns, that actually kind of makes sense with the number of QBs you've churned through in the last few years. I mean, you're kind of guaranteed, but you can do that later at a later date. What does make this interesting, though, Mike, and I'm going to throw a little something out there we'll get a little flame for, is why not pump this guy up, especially if you're intending to trade him at some point in the season? I don't see the downside here. Frankly, the Browns aren't going anywhere this year. I mean, this would have been the year for the Browns to be competitive. Honestly, you have an aging Baltimore Ravens squad. You have the Pittsburgh Steelers that, I've never seen them look more in disarray. And then Cincinnati is Cincinnati. That defense is atrocious. So they actually could have been competitive this year in the AFC North, which is troubling for fans. But I don't think you're going to be with what you have. So essentially, we're going to take 5 guys, and I would expect, that one guy that has all the names on the back is like makeshift leather jacket. Yeah, it's going to be a whole column just for this season alone. Exactly.
Yeah, I was about to say, if we're setting the definition of viable quarterback at third string backup, then yes, this is the most Browns thing ever. Because you guys have been stuck like this for 20 years. But Paul, we'll let you weigh in on this one. What do you think of this whole situation? What do you think of Shaduer? What do you think of the Browns so far?
Well, have you seen Sanders? He hired a guy to hold a scythe and carry his bag through the airport. And so just like a self-perpetuating hype train, one thing that he's going to bring is attention to the squad. I think we're going to have a lot more coverage than we would see otherwise. And that could be for better or for worse. It could be a front-running type of squad where if he gets a couple good drives, all of a sudden we get a Sanders mania. I think that's possible in play. And whether that's going to be whether Sanders is a true competitor in this league or not, it may be a little hyperbolic either way depending on his performance. I don't think there's going to be any middle ground with him. Even if there's a couple lucky plays here or there, it could be something like Tebow mania we might see.
That's actually a really good
Tebow mania? This is like the antithesis to Tebow mania.
I think that's actually a good comparison. I think that the hyperbolic side is
that it's not in the same lane, but it kind of is with the attention.
I like that. It's not Linsanity because he didn't come out of nowhere, but I could see Shaduer becoming a lightning rod. Now, we've been down this road with the Browns before, and it turned into, the same sort of scenario as the guy who fell in the water while the Browns had that inflatable helmet display. That's what happened when Johnny Manziel was the quarterback about 10 years ago. Dirk, are we headed for another Johnny football situation with Shaduer?
honestly, that wouldn't surprise me if they actually started. But here's the thing. What better destination to trade him than to Oakland? And then, Prime can go over and be the coach. I think that's the best outcome.
They're going to oust Pete Carroll after 1 year? They're like,
you know what? That's
done.
it. No.
Get out of here.
Get him out of here. No,
Pete Carroll, you won a Super Bowl, but we're going to get ready for a guy.
I'll tell you what, I'm kind of disappointed that the Raiders didn't draft Shaduer because that's the most Oakland-type QB there is.
I thought it was going to be that.
I mean, that or the Saints. Instead, you have Tyler, what is it, Shug? He's already been named day one starter.
For the Raiders?
No, for the Saints.
Oh, for the Saints. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Gino's holding it down over there with the Raiders. I think Shaduer has some good upside. I just am not sure that 1 game sample size, game 1 of the preseason, indicates a whole lot.
What about all he accomplished at the collegiate level?
Well, he accomplished some things. He also accomplished probably less than the media hype would indicate. But Shaduer has tools, man. Shaduer can, he's very athletic. He's got a, decent arm. He's got some good accuracy. I just don't, I don't know how it's going to play out yet. It's not like the Browns are like an absolutely talent-laden team either. I mean, he's not like stepping into the best situation in football as a young quarterback too. So there is also the possibility that Shaduer, as Paul mentioned, gets thrust in too soon and doesn't have the resources around him, and then the hyperbolic needle goes the other way, right?
Let me take the flip side of this. Okay, I'm going to make the case for Shaduer, right?
Yeah.
So some of the best QBs we have in the league right now, we have Lamar, we have Josh Allen, we have Patrick Mahomes. Did any of them go to any championship? No. I mean, frankly, what was the claim to fame for Josh Allen? A famous Idaho Potato Bowl, right? And then Lamar. I mean, none of these guys were in the national tournament. They were in the playoffs. They didn't have the same pedigree as maybe McCarthy or something like that. But we haven't seen Alabama quarterbacks come out. So then why?
Well, hold on.
Oh,
hold on.
One, but I consider him an Oklahoma quarterback, not an Alabama. So I mean, you can't spit him up and turn him out, and then expect to be called an Alabama quarterback. Sorry, Saban, you did him dirty. You can't claim him as your own now.
Tua is taking strays right now.
Hey, look, if Tua can make a whole season, I'll start considering him a decent quarterback.
Hey, Joe Namath is out here watching too.
No, okay, that's not
Broadway Joe.
I have nothing good to say about that. But what I will say is look at the immeasurables and some of the things that he can bring to the table. I think he's highly athletic, obviously. He has a knack for throwing the ball, and he's made some great throws in the past. Look, I think he has raw talent. It's a matter of how serious they are about developing that. And if that's the right fit with the Browns, great. That's the case for him. But if not, the Browns got to, if they aren't invested in this guy, putting 4 guys in a roster, this spells Browns disaster all over it. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. You have Dylan Gabriel throwing shade left and right, regardless of what he says, and then you have, the most Browns quarterback of all time, best quarterback we've had in the last 5 to 10 years. You know who I'm talking about? Joe.
Oh.
Falco. No, Flacco. Oh. Joe Flacco.
Oh. I can't believe we're talking about Flacco in 2025.
And the fact that Kenny Pickett is actually on both of these guys that we're talking about. So,
Paul,
this is the most 4-string quarterback he's ever been talked
42, 43?
It doesn't matter.
He's getting out. Wow.
Jamie Moyer was 54 in the Rockies threw him. And they were better than they were this
Moyer,
year.
What is going on? All right.